Jeez, it took me like 15 minutes. 15 minutes. And like, oh, my webcam is. Golly. All right. 15 minutes, y'all. It took me 15 minutes to put this together. And I'm flabbergasted. And I want to get that out of the way. Jiminy Cricket. Like, all I want to do is watch true crime. And YouTube is trying to hold me down. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So let's get into it because we've already wasted like a crazy amount of time. Oof, my makeup is yellowing so hard. I'm so sorry, guys. I just put on concealer. And the problem with you need to buy you a concealer that's like your skin tone and a lighter skin. So look, let's not worry about that. Let's just get to true crime. I'm recovering from my weekend because I had like I had a really fun weekend. It was a party weekend. I had a blast. I turned 39. Yay. So I'm pretty pumped. So I'm a little tired trying to get and the thing is I didn't drink. I didn't drink at all. So I thought that was pretty dope. Go me. All right. So we're gonna watch a little bit of Payback, Dancing with the Devil. Um, I always be like, man, I sure wish I could watch true crime with people because I got things to say. Like, I want to be like, oh my gosh, you shouldn't do that. I'm also going to erase some of these other true crimes that I have up. Let's see, my lives, so that it doesn't confuse people. Okay, it looks like that's all right. I don't know what to do with that. So I always watch true crime, and one of the things I'm thinking, like, man, I have things I have to say. Oh, sorry. I have things I want to say, but like I have no one to say them to, and I still don't have anyone to say them to. But you guys check out. So I have my true crime going in the chats because I can't really see the video right now. So if you have something to say or an input, I'm totally with it. Let me see if I can alter this so we can get some more people to join us today. Get some people to stop in and talk about us. Let's see, we're going to delete that. Boop. Always got to delete. Always got to delete. All right, videos. Okay. So let's get into it. If you're like, I want to watch true crime, but I'm not quite sure where to find it and you don't have the websites, you can go online and check some stuff. People do risk it all to put up there. Um obviously there's copyright issues. So you want to be careful with that because if there's copyright issues, people will probably have it up for one day and take it down. Or another thing is you might hear like unnecessary sounds, noises, and music, and you might be like, why are they playing on that music? And it's because they're trying to avoid being copywritten, to have copyright strikes against them. Um, so a lot of people are just so selfish. They're like, you need to stop doing this. And it's like, dude, these people are risking everything, their channel and everything to post these videos for you guys. So I just wanted to let you know what's going on. If you're a true crime person like me, that little bit of noise, it ain't gonna bother you because the story is more important than the noise. So all you people who are living in other countries who are uploading these, thank you because I appreciate you guys. I have too many streaming subscriptions. I'm not about to buy anymore. So without further ado, let's check this out.
She was face down in the bathtub.
She was cold to the touch.
Oh, Lord, have this.
The police try to make sense of it all.
It looked like an accident.
Or possibly an overdose. Or was it something else?
The rumors started flowing. Throw me a murderer.
You think he gets a message? But when the truth finally revealed, it will take every...
When it comes to true crime, these are my favorite type of true crimes where they have like the reenactments and stuff like that because I'm like, "Ooh, yeah, you're on point." Now, I am gonna stop it. I know you're gonna get tired of that, but that's another thing to help with the copyright strikes because I wanted to not hit me as well. So, I know you're gonna be annoyed, but you guys, I'm sorry.
Run by surprise. When you say grabbed her by her neck, how did he do that? He had a common scheme or plan, a similar MO. December 5th, 2018. It's after midnight in Barnville, South Carolina, a tiny southern town of less than 2,000. It's Wake up, webmaster. You're online with Hostinger, and you're in command.
Into our H panel for ultimate control over your
As we
website.
get to
It's everything you
the
need in one
next
place.
level with
Once
our
in, you can
YouTube
administer
channel
access for your team
and we get
and clients.
monetized,
H panel frees up your mind
I'll
for
go ahead
unrestrained
and get rid of
productivity
these
with automatic
ads,
updates
but
and
we're not there
website
yet.
migration and intuitive design. Need backup? Our expert support team is plugged and online 24/7 to offer any assistance you require.
And I may not have to
Instantly.
stop because
Conquer
it seems like I can just
cyberspace
talk
with
into my
websites that are
microphone.
fast, secure, and resilient.
And that should be
Hostinger's globally distributed
sufficient.
network of servers, enhanced by Lightspeed technology, delivers unparalleled load times, uptime,
Let's go
and
ahead and skip
reliability.
this
Using
because
WordPress,
I do want to
automate
make sure they get their money, but I also want to
It's very
finish this
quiet,
tiny.
it's quaint. Everyone knows everyone. But it's basically like, you grow up with everybody, but overall, it's a good little time. You can't go into the grocery store without having a conversation with your neighbor and they ask how your mom, your family is. It's just a community place.
I've always
And
wanted to
after
live in a
tonight,
place like that.
the community will have plenty to talk about. It's about 3:30 in the morning when something wakes John Williams from a sound sleep. Mr. Williams woke up to a very strong smell of smoke.
What the? But he couldn't tell if the flames were coming from his trailer or a neighbor's.
And so he rushed outside to look and see. Once outside the trailer, he quickly locates the source of the flame. The fire has started from the underpinning of the house. He immediately calls 911 for assistance.
911, do you need police, fire, or EMS? I need a fire department. My trailer's on fire, man. Oh, God.
The atmosphere was toxic.
Look at him selling it. He
Very
needs it.
chaotic, scary.
You got somebody on the way?
Then, with firefighters on the way, he runs back into the burning trailer.
His daughter and granddaughter are still inside.
He runs in the house to make sure everybody's getting out safe. He finds his daughter asleep on the couch.
Hey, wake up. The house is on fire.
John told her it's time to go.
That was a little weird way of doing it, but I guess it wasn't that serious of a fire.
To wake his granddaughter, 27-year-old Amelia Garvin. John walked to his granddaughter's bedroom, and it was locked.
Amelia! You gotta get out! Amelia!
He knocked on the door, and he heard no answer.
You gotta get out!
Amelia Garvin and her grandfather had always been close. Amelia lost her father when she was 10 years old. He got thrown off a motorcycle and he died at the hospital. And basically, it was me and my father and my mother that raised her. And it wasn't always easy. She was a handful. She always kept me on my toes. And even as an adult,
She's pretty.
Amelia's wild streak was always present. Amelia loved to party, loved to have fun, get out with her friends. She was young, she loved life. But she also had a serious side. She was a steady worker. She had just recently started at the new truck stop and was always reliable, always made her own money. She was a hard-working young lady. She wanted so much more out of life.
That's good.
And after her grandmother died, Amelia moved in with her grandfather to help him get by.
It's so nice having you around.
Him and her went on half with the paying the rent and light bills. She loved her grandfather. She took it upon herself to step in and help and be there for her grandfather. although she would still slip off to have fun. Thank you. She did like to party.
Who doesn't?
And
We're
it was at a
young.
local club that she met Jarvis Jenkins.
He looked like
Is that
trouble.
all you got? You better learn to dance.
I don't play those kind of games.
She kind of fell for his humble ways. She brought him around to the family and introduced him and everything. And he seemed to be a cool young man. Jervy still got along with Amelia's grandfather.
What's going on?
Him and my father go fishing and everything. All my family liked him. And before long, it looked like Amelia had finally found the one.
And I like the fact that Amelia had brought him around her family, because I don't think too many. I'm not going to say that, because people have a limited view of life because of what they see right in front of them. I think, in my experience from the circle that I'm in, a lot of people don't bring their significant others to the family to be around them first and to vet them to see what type of energy they have. And I think that's good. That'll help weed out some of the undesirables.
And she could possibly see a future with him.
Good time.
But now, trailer is on fire, and Amelia is locked in her room.
Come on, Grandpa, break it down.
We gotta get out of the house. She knocked on her door, didn't get an answer. He couldn't get her because you locked her room from the inside. There was only one thing left to do.
Knock it down.
He ends up kicking the door in.
He didn't see her. Fearing time is running out, Amelia's grandfather runs through the bedroom to the attached bath. This is where he found his granddaughter.
It's immediately obvious why she didn't come to the door.
He finds her face down in the bathtub.
First of all, nice bathtub. Second of all, what the fudge?
After a year and a half together, it appeared that 27-year-old Amelia Garvin had found happiness with Jarvis Jenkins. She was in love with him. She really was. But a fire at her trailer has led to a horrific...
Now, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but this guy's already, not, whoever it is, they already sound super evil. Not only did they kill her and leave her in the bathtub, but they were also going to burn her place down with her family inside. Cold-blooded.
Big discovery. Amelia! He tried to wake Amelia and could not get in the room. Guess him being worried, he kicked the door in. He found her lifeless, face down in her tub. Fire. So finished.
Dang. And I'm wondering, like, naturally they slow it down because you're watching a TV show. But I wonder in real time, like, is it seconds? Is a fire getting out of hand?
It's no simple task.
Wow. I'm over here burning my breath. Like, I hope people don't get burned down, but you want to make sure your family member is safe. Crazy.
And that you're...
Firefighters arrive on the scene within minutes.
Okay.
When they get there, they take care of the fire. Hey! But there is nothing they can do for Amelia. They realized at that moment that she had been dead for quite some time.
Okay, Jennifer Champagne.
When firefighters realized that Amelia is dead, they removed her family from the scene so police can begin their investigation. On scene, it wasn't ultimately clear how Miss Garvin had passed away.
However, the fire department suspected that the fire had been intentionally set.
There was a strong smell of gasoline outside where the fire was.
Hey, this person was about to burn. Wow.
Of the mobile home right under the bathroom and the bathtub where Amelia was found was where the fire had been set. That immediately was extremely suspicious. Police also find an empty gas can on the porch outside
That
the
is
trailer.
dumb. That is dumb.
Obvious the arsonist is trying to cover up murder.
Herb, you just leave evidence
Due to
there?
a lack of local
Okay, we gotta catch
resources,
this dude.
police call in investigators from the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division to work the case. We're the state police in South Carolina. A lot of times, smaller departments that may not have a lot of manpower or resources will call SLED, and then we step in and assist. When SLED special agents arrive on the scene, they initially don't notice any obvious evidence of foul play inside the trailer.
Nothing in the actual home suggested any foul play.
It was a typical 20-something-year-old female bedroom. She had stuff, clothes kind of scattered.
Well, for that to be a trailer
However,
bathroom,
one
nice.
thing
I
does
know it's a
strike them as
reenactment.
suspicious. The air conditioner unit was on the floor, several feet away from the window, and we investigated that as a possible point of entry. In the back, the agents find more potential clues.
2 cigarette butts were found in the bathroom.
This
by
dude did
the
not
tub.
care. Either he didn't
The
care
cigarette butts
or
are
he
back
had a
as
lot of
evidence
faith in his
for
ability to
possible
burn
DNA
things down.
testing.
Her body was sent for autopsy, and usually autopsy will tell us stuff we don't see from the outside.
While the medical examiner's team performs the post-mortem examination, the SLED agents bring Anelia's aunt and grandfather down to the Barnville police station for formal statements.
When they sat down with Anelia's grandfather, it was clear he was having a hard time processing what had just happened. He can't imagine who would want to harm anyone in the family.
Nobody ever showed him at the house.
That police officer is looking good. Okay.
Never heard anybody, never heard she did anybody wrong or anything like that. She didn't tell you she was scared of anybody or worried about somebody hurting her.
Oh, fine.
All Anelia's grandfather knows for sure is that everything seemed fine when he last saw her.
Do you remember about what time it was? Then the grandfather, he stated that they were home all day December 4th. No one had seen Anelia because she was in her room all day with the door locked. She was used to kind of sleeping in and sleeping during the day because she worked night shift.
But when she didn't
It
answer,
kind of makes you a little nervous about. I mean, I don't like my doors. I see why people might.
Was wrong.
You also shouldn't sleep naked just in case a fire starts. But they don't see these goodies.
When the investigators sit down with Anelia's aunt, she confirms much of what Anelia's grandmother told them.
Can you tell us about the last time you saw her?
Yeah, it was late the night before. She got a knock on the door and it was Anelia. I let her in.
What are you doing? I'm sorry, I forgot my key. Her aunt stated that they spoke briefly and they both went their separate ways.
And had gone into her bedroom and locked the door behind her.
Her aunt said it wasn't unusual that Anelia spent the whole next day in her room alone.
So when Anelia didn't get up the next morning, she didn't think anything of it.
The investigators do, however.
A recluse who spends all day locked in her bedroom is found dead in her bathtub. It does raise some suspicion. This could have been an overdose.
What?
Maybe it was accidental, or they could be looking at the outside.
Either way, there's still one thing that doesn't fit.
Why would someone set the trailer on fire?
Bingo. You
The
know, with
answer
some type of
comes
foul
when
play, she didn't set the
investigators
tray on
receive the
fire and then
results
go
of
throw
Anelia's
herself in water.
autopsy.
She didn't die of an overdose.
Anelia also didn't drown.
The autopsy showed
Petechial
she did not have
hemorrhages.
any fluid in her lungs.
She was strangled, y'all. Y'all know
And it
when
was
y'all see
likely that
petechial, y'all know
Anelia
what that
was
is.
already dead when someone put her in the tub.
That was from strangulation.
you know it was the dude, but the question is, why did he do it? Why? This is actually so. I thought this was payback. This sounds like this might be fatal attraction. Sometimes they upload things under different things. I don't know. I don't know. Just enjoy it.
Investigators in Barnville, South Carolina have just learned that 27-year-old Amelia Garvin's mysterious death was no accident.
When the autopsy results came in, it stated that Amelia had been strangled.
There was no drowning that took place. She was actually already dead before she was put in that tub.
They believe that the arson was a move to cover up the murder.
He's so
Hoping to
dumb.
learn who might want Amelia dead, the detectives turned to her mother.
We were trying to find out everything we could about her and her life and her movements.
Thank you for coming to talk to us today.
Of course.
However, Amelia's mother didn't initially have much to offer the investigators.
I didn't know who did it. She'd be distant sometime, and I would ask her, is everything all right? And she'd say, yes, Mama, I'm good. She would never tell me nothing.
That's okay. Any little thing could help.
For instance, was your daughter seeing anyone?
Well,
Amelia's mother stated that Amelia had recently broken up with her boyfriend of 1.5 years.
his name was Jarvis Jenkins.
When did they break up?
Just about a week ago. That Saturday, when she done my hair, she said they broke up, so it had been like a week or something like that.
Any idea why they broke up?
Really? Everybody in the family loved him. Everybody took to him.
She didn't think Jarvis had something to do with Amelia's death.
The investigators aren't so sure.
Right?
However.
Me neither.
Based on my experience, strangulation is up close and personal.
Mm-hmm.
You have to put your hands around someone's neck.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get close enough to them to be able to do that. There's got to be a certain level of intimacy.
But does that implicate Jarvis or someone else in Amelia's life?
She had some troubles with Kenneth,
Who's that?
her uncle.
What?
They had got in an altercation and they got mad.
Although according to Amelia's mom, it all started when Kenneth got into a fight with Amelia's aunt at the trailer.
Kenneth and his sister, they had a run-in, and they had a little argument, and that resulted in a knife being pulled. Amelia hears the commotion. She
Oh,
opens her
sister?
door. She sees Kenneth holding a knife.
What's going on?
You leave my baby out of this. She got nothing to do with it.
She ran to her car and called 911.
911 was your
should've.
emergency.
Mama, Uncle has a knife. While Amelia's in the car calling the cops, Uncle Kenneth comes out yelling.
Hey, you better be on the phone.
He knew that Amelia was going to get him in trouble. Kenneth is raging and beating on the windows of the car.
And he bust her window.
Oh.
And because of that, he ended up going to jail.
She pressed charges.
I don't know, but the cops came and they arrested him.
Yeah, she should have pressed charges.
After talking to Amelia's mother, the investigators pulled the records on the incident.
What they found raised an immediate red flag.
Amelia was supposed to testify against her uncle.
And she was supposed to testify the day before family found her in the trailer.
The same day she had supposedly spent locked in her bedroom.
I don't know,
She
you
had him
guys.
dead in the room then.
I don't think
Authorities
it's
are
the
thinking
uncle.
Kenneth is their prime suspect.
They have to
That
throw
afternoon,
somebody in there.
Investigators haul Amelia's uncle in for questioning.
He's no stranger to the lead investigator.
Kenneth has a criminal background, a history.
And the investigators
Wait a minute. So she said we go way back, and he's like, mm-hmm. How often have this dude been in the jail system, in the prison system, in the legal system? I know police officers, but it's because I work with them. This is I don't know if he's that cool with police officers. I don't know that he should be free, but I'm being a jerk.
Gators don't waste any time letting Kenneth know why he's there.
Y'all want to put down for you? Because you and her got into it.
Put on the spot by detectives, Kenneth claims the scuffle between them stemmed from a misunderstanding.
He states that his sister was the cause of it.
Mm.
She didn't grab a knife.
Mm.
So I grabbed my sister.
Kenneth says he was trying to defend himself, and Amelia walked in.
And he was like, she did not know what was going on.
He also admitted that he had overreacted when Amelia called the cops.
Yeah.
I knew I was overboard and I was sorry. I lost it.
Kenneth reported that since that night, he agreed to get the window fixed.
Put it back.
So also, the sister is outside fussing. He comes out to the sister and tells her to shut up. And because she doesn't shut up when he tells her to, well, I mean, she did get a knife. I don't know. There was some conflict resolution that probably would have helped a lot of that situation. But I just think the uncle is just crazy. I don't think he would kill his niece.
He also says he'd patch things up with Amelia.
And also, not the uncle, I think everybody in this situation, the uncle and the sister, it could have been like, hey, you're a little too loud. I can't hear my stuff. Do you mind like calm it down a little bit? Oh yeah, got it. Boom. Issue resolved. Nah, we gonna say shut up and knife get pulled. That's crazy.
In fact, Kenneth claimed he wanted Amelia to testify at his court hearing.
Her plan was to actually go with him to drop the charges.
So imagine his surprise when she didn't show.
He tried to get in touch with her, left her voicemails.
But does that mean he's innocent? Or just that Kenneth has a good cover story?
Did you kill Amelia?
Kenneth reported that he was heartbroken about Amelia's death.
Mm.
He would never hurt his niece.
Mm.
But Kenneth also claims to
I'm
know
sorry, I'm
who
trying to focus.
would.
I really was here because it was sexy.
Who was going to hurt her? Like, who would want to?
Who was it? That's the thing about these ads I want to get rid of because they do it so well though. Because I know I do it in my video, so I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking it. Let's skip it a little bit.
Kenneth was sure Jarvis was the killer.
He looked like it. He looked very aggressive.
Amelia Garvin's uncle has told investigators that there's only one person who could be behind his niece's murder.
He says it was probably her ex-boyfriend, Jarvis.
The fact that his name isn't Jarvis and it's Jarvis, that lets me know he's crazy.
Beyond that, Amelia's uncle has little in the way of proof.
Kenneth reported that if they went on Facebook, they would notice that people were posting that Jarvis was the one who actually killed Amelia.
He says people are talking about how Jarvis was violent and abusive.
Oh.
Did you ever witness any behavior like that between them? No, I know. Did she ever actually tell anybody incidents like that with them?
Still, he's adamant that Jarvis was her killer.
Kenneth was so sure that Jarvis was the killer that he texted him and told him that he was coming for him.
Now, if Jarvis is the size of the actor that's playing him, I don't think he's too afraid of the uncle. But this is one of they hung out with him. They hung out with this dude, and everybody loved him, and he was still a monster. I feel like a lot of people talk about, well, they just pick these type of dudes, and he's this type of guy. But the family didn't even see that dude was a little sociopath. They didn't know he was crazy until he actually did some crazy shit. Ain't that crazy?
However, the investigators aren't so sure.
Kenneth could be pointing the finger at Jarvis to divert suspicion away from him. himself.
But investigators follow up on Kenneth's statement. They do find multiple social media suggesting that Jarvis had something to do with Amelia's death.
After the homicide happened and people started hearing that she was passed away, the rumors started flowing.
After reading through the social media posts, the investigators asked Amelia's friend Patrice Barnes to come in for an interview.
Her post mentioned that she had seen Amelia the night before the murder.
Were you close with Amelia?
I don't think of our relationship as close.
Patrice tells investigators that she suspected Jarvis as soon as she heard Amelia was dead.
They argue all the time. Constantly fighting.
There were a number of issues in the relationship, control being one of the main ones.
She would be talking to me, and then he would assume that she's telling me to go tell another dude something. Simple stuff like that.
That's weird.
For no reason.
And according to Patrice, Amelia had finally reached her limit.
She had just been telling me that she was completely done with him. She's fed up.
In fact, Patrice said that on the last night Amelia was alive, they had gone out to a club after work to celebrate the breakup.
She was happy. She was happy.
But not everyone was so happy about the breakup.
Naturally.
Patrice said that while they were out, Jarvis kept blowing up Amelia's phone.
He repeatedly tried to call her with private numbers, unknown numbers.
You said they were anonymous calls. You think you were yelling?
Yeah, there's no other person I would know her, honestly.
Again? Girl, yes. I think you get the message.
To the investigators, Jarvis's behavior borders on obsession.
But when they asked Patrice, she admitted that she didn't know what happened to Amelia after she got home.
She dropped Amelia off at home. She was safe when she dropped her off.
After hearing Patrice's story, the investigators have a new priority: finding Jarvis Jenkins. But they never get a chance to look.
The next morning, Jarvis shows up and wants to talk to the detectives before the police could even ask him to come in.
Facebook killed me, man. Called me a murderer, told me I'm a killer.
Due to the heavy attention that Amelia's murder received on social media, he started realizing that he needed to talk to detectives to clear his name. He says everyone is out here trying to pin this on him.
That's what made me come here. I don't know, y'all.
He says he was grieving for Amelia, but the accusations were just too much to take.
They didn't give me my own tooth right. Next to his Facebook, next to his calling me a killer, so the pain went to defending myself.
When investigators asked why people would blame him for Amelia's death, Jarvis admits that their relationship was volatile.
It was wild. We did a lot of fighting.
But he swears he has nothing to do with the murder.
I ain't no killer. I mean, that's why I said I come to y'all. Like, if I guilty, just I promise you I'd be in Pennsylvania somewhere. I'd be long gone.
Most murderers are not honest, so this is about what I expect for him to do.
However, while Jarvis is adamant he didn't kill Amelia, he does admit he's the one who kept calling her while she was at the club with Patrice.
That phone was going to voicemail.
He says he called her from an anonymous number because she didn't always pick up if it was him since they broke up.
You know how it is when you get me.
But he says that it never escalated past arguing.
We had an up and down. We go through our moments, but it never been to the point where I would kill somebody.
He denied any involvement and offered up other potential suspects and motives.
Every phone could just bust out a window.
But Amelia's uncle wasn't the only person Jarvis pointed the finger at.
He says that Amelia may have been involved with some kind of drug cartel.
He says that Amelia had been holding money for the kingpin.
But why would Amelia hold money for him?
According to Jarvis, it was because the drug dealer was dating Amelia's sister.
Okay, that's something different.
Type 2 diabetes
discover the Ozempic trizone.
Okay. Maybe there's something going on here. Could it be this wild story that Jarvis is talking about? I mean, he sounds like a outstanding individual. Let's see.
Anelia Garvin's ex-boyfriend has just told the detectives investigating her murder that Anelia was mixed up with some pretty bad people.
Gervais states that her sister's boyfriend is a notorious drug lord.
According to Jarvis, Anelia was involved in his operation too.
She was holding money for drug dealer.
And he had all kind of things in her name.
Was Anelia killed to silence a potential witness?
Jarvis thinks that drug dealer got to Anelia.
When the detectives bring her sister's boyfriend, Dwayne Harper, in for questioning, he denies everything.
Jarvis Jenkins, he had said that Anelia would hold cash for you. I'm talking like a lot of cash, not 5, 10, or 20. Big amounts.
Dwayne also denies having anything to do with Anelia's death.
Y'all were on good terms. No issues.
In fact, he said he loved Anelia like a sister.
And when the investigator asks why Jarvis would peg him as the killer, Dwayne says there's a simple explanation. The investigators aren't willing to take Dwayne's word for it. But after a little digging, it appears he's telling the truth.
Investigators don't find anything that could lead Anelia to be a suspect or any kind of drug-related issues.
Is Jarvis simply trying to throw the investigators off track? As they expand their interviews to others in Anelia's circle, that appears to be the case.
Anelia's cousin Shauna also told investigators that Jarvis had been abusing Anelia.
It was a domestic violence relationship. I'm sorry to say that. They always fought.
Shauna says the most recent incident occurred a few weeks ago when Jarvis grabbed Anelia by the neck.
When you say grabbed her by her neck, how did he do that?
Like he put his hands around her.
Okay, like,
Yeah, he's being prepared for that.
Since Anelia had been strangled to death, this seemed very significant to investigators.
and you witnessed that?
It's close.
But the worst incident that Shauna's aware of is something she didn't witness.
She was at his house. They got into it.
Anelia told her that he put her in a chokehold and told her that he was going to kill her.
When she came to, she was in her passed out with a mouth full of dirt.
What do you mean she came to?
She passed out like that.
Whoa.
However, for all Jarvis's abuse, Shauna says that isn't the real reason Anelia left him.
He was having an affair with several other women, and he ultimately ended up getting one pregnant.
So that put him on the real rocky again.
But Shauna says that even after Anelia broke things off with Jarvis, he wouldn't leave her alone.
He began to aggressively text her, call her.
What would he say?
That she was with another man. She was a whore.
She had to block his phone number, block him on social media, and that he repeatedly tried to call her with private numbers, unknown numbers.
Shauna says that Jarvis had been stalking Anelia too.
When investigators subpoena Jarvis's cell phone, they find evidence to corroborate Shauna's story.
There's over 100 text messages from Jarvis threatening Anelia, telling her that he would kill her.
But the most
Dang.
damning evidence was an ominous message Jarvis sent to a friend on social media.
He told a friend he was going to choke Anelia until her head fell off.
Had Jarvis stood up on his threat?
Oh, he did it.
Looking for proof, the investigators turned to the cell tower data contained in the phone records to track his movements in the hours leading up to the murder.
It ranged from him being over by Love's in the parking lot of her workplace while she was on shift, and then moving to her residence, sitting there for a while.
It definitely looked like he was stalking her.
Dang,
Then
just couldn't let it
Jarvis's
go.
phone heads to the vicinity of the club in Walterboro, Virginia,
which is where she and her friends went to go out.
But then Jarvis suddenly drops off the radar.
In the wee hours of the morning, we see that there is no tower location data.
Jarvis had his phone off.
and the investigators have little doubt why he would do that.
This dead period of time, we believe, is when he killed Anelia.
But without evidence placing Jarvis at the scene of the crime, the investigators hesitate to make arrest.
It's an extremely circumstantial case. SLAT investigators wanted to dot every I and cross every T.
Until several months after the murder, they get an unexpected lead with the potential to tie everything together.
The investigators got a call from the authorities in Beaufort, South Carolina.
They had arrested Jarvis.
They actually locked up Jarvis Jenkins for domestic violence.
Ooh, that's rough.
Anelia's family was phenomenal from the start. They were adamant about not letting her be forgotten or fall through the cracks, and they wanted her remembered for who she was. Their daughter, their sister, their cousin, their aunt, their friend. They did not want her to be labeled as a murder victim. They wanted her to be remembered for her smile and her laughter and joy. And in my 16 years of law enforcement, I've never had a family that involved.
My A1C was up here. Now it's down with Rybelsus. His A1C?
It's down with
Almost a year after someone choked Anelia Garvin to death, investigators have learned that police in Beaufort, South Carolina have arrested her ex-boyfriend, Jarvis Jenkins.
He was charged with abusing another woman, 34-year-old Chastity Baker.
Wow.
Chastity was
He just couldn't help it,
another
huh?
girlfriend of Mr. Jenkins that he started dating after Anelia died.
With Jarvis in jail, the investigators approached Chastity hoping to cure her testimony against him.
However, she refused to cooperate with the investigation.
She was very much under his thumb, and she didn't want to believe that he was capable of this. He's the father of her child.
Oh.
Despite setback, the investigators may not need her cooperation.
The only thing that they have are the 2 cigarette butts to do the investigation on. And months went by before even getting the evidence off of the cigarette butts to come back.
Looking at lab evidence took almost a year. It was not ideal, but that's what we had to deal with. And we were finally able to compare a sample of Mr. Jenkins's DNA to physical evidence that we found at the scene, specifically the cigarette butt.
When the results come back, it's the breakthrough investigators need.
The cigarette butts match Jarvis's DNA.
They finally had evidence putting him at the scene of the crime.
Got him.
In October of 2019, almost a year after Anelia's death, the prosecutors filed charges against Jarvis.
He was charged with murder, and we did that while he was in the custody for the case with Chastity and her domestic violence case.
News that Jarvis has been charged with Anelia's murder comes as a shock to her mother.
Everybody else was saying about him and her was having problems, and he was straight on her phone and everything, but I didn't know I was in the blind. He really fooled me. I mean, we was dancing with the devil and didn't realize that.
Anelia's mother isn't the only one whose eyes are opened. A month before Jarvis' trial is scheduled to begin, His ex-girlfriend Chastity contacts the investigators.
Hello, I'm sorry. Hi, Detective. Chastity.
Thankfully, she
Chastity's
changed her
cute too.
tune. She became cooperative with us. It was incredible.
I just wanted to say that I'm so sorry. But I'm ready to tell you everything.
She apologized profusely for how uncooperative she had been, which, of course, is something that we're kind of used to in these situations.
She wasn't sure if she was doing the right thing. She was going through a lot of emotions at the time.
But Chastity tells investigators that things changed after she gave birth to Jarvis's baby.
She really saw the light. She realized, I'm a mom now, and that's a much more important role. And I don't want my child to be subjected to this or think it's okay in any way, shape, or form.
She states that Jarvis was very abusive towards her.
Chastity said that he would regularly threaten her, too.
And the nature of those threats were of particular interest to investigators.
Jarvis let her know that he could definitely get away with murder. He would literally tell her this. He said that he'll kill me and get away with it.
He made statements to her that were consistent with him being involved in the death of Anelia.
But will her testimony help secure a conviction when Jarvis goes on trial in January of 2023?
This was, a long time coming.
COVID became an issue. It delayed the docket.
I wondered about that.
In their opening statements, prosecutors portray Jarvis as a violent man unable to accept that Anelia left him.
It was just a punch to the ego that he couldn't take.
So early on the morning of December 4th, 2018, Jarvis had taken his revenge.
He entered the residence through a window.
The air conditioning was his way of getting in. He pushed it into the room, crawled in that hole.
After Anelia's home, Jarvis was waiting for her.
She was likely taken off guard because she did not have defensive wounds on her, and there was no sign of a struggle.
He choked her and filled the bathtub and put her in it.
He wanted her death to look like an overdose or an accident.
The secret to having a great day for me starts with Good Day Columbus. Kurt, Jessica, Buck, Katie, the Mikes, Cam, and Phil.
This
The
is
Good Day
wild.
Columbus gang.
Just like if and that lets me know a lot of guys are
insecure
insecure because if she leaves you, you should just get your stuff together and get you a new chick. Like why are you doing all of this? For what? For what?
But things hadn't gone as Jarvis planned.
The whole next day, no one had gone inside Anelia's room.
He gets tired of waiting, so he sets the fire to make sure somebody finds her.
To add credence to their theory, the prosecutors put Chastity on the stand.
She said he strangled her and had her on the ground like he did my daughter.
It shows that he had a common scheme or plan, a similar MO.
But there's one tiny piece of evidence that ties everything together.
When they had the DNA hit on the cigarette butt.
All in all, it makes a compelling picture for the jury.
Jarvis Jenkins is convicted of murder and sentenced to 50 years in prison.
I was glad because, I couldn't save my daughter's life, but now that he's locked up, he can't hurt nobody again.
The family also hopes Anelia's story will help others avoid a similar fate.
I want to help people going to domestic violence because maybe I can save somebody's child life.
Because no family should have to face the alternative.
Every day I wake up, I talk about Anelia every day. Sometimes I cry, Sometimes I laugh about little things she used to do. I cherish her memories every day of my life. And I miss her so much.
So that's enough for today. But I mean, that was an easy one. We knew who did it. It was the boyfriend. He was crazy, and this is where we're at. Like we knew that was what it was, and that's why I feel sorry for her because she recognized dude was crazy. Probably recognized it's a bit too late, but she recognized it and she tried to leave. And if you're in a domestic violence situation, ladies, remember the and guys. I don't know. I don't know stats for men. I don't know if women kill men who are trying to escape like men, but you guys too. The most dangerous time when you leave an abuser. This is for anybody. The most dangerous time in your life is when you leave an abuser. And she left him, and she should have told more people about it. She should have told. And I understand, like you become what's the word? You become embarrassed, and you're like, I'm a queen. Why am I dealing with this? And you kind of keep it secret, and you don't tell anybody. And unfortunately, things happen and they have to figure out who did it. So, ladies, one, as soon as you see this guy, if a guy put his hands on you, my grandma used to be like, even if he's play fighting with you, I don't play that. My grandma did not play because she had, been, unprotected a lot when she was younger. But if a guy put his hands on you, there's no coming back from that. Like it's a wrap. You can't even forgive that, even if it was just oh, I'm sorry. Like you just can't forgive that because if you let it go, he's going to see it as an opportunity to go even further. So also when you leave, like if y'all break up by text. You don't need to meet him nowhere. You don't need to go and pick him up. You don't need to do nothing with him. You need to just kick him to the curb. And tell your relatives, tell your friends, especially if he's put his hands on you and he's calling you, he's blowing you up like that. Tell everybody about him. Be on the lookout, and you kind of gotta, you almost gotta like leave the state that you're in, especially if they're abusive like that. You just got to get up and leave. Um, it's really unfortunate that you got people who's prowling the planet who are like this, and they don't know how to just let go. I don't care what she did in that relationship. I don't care if she cheated on you. I don't care if she, unless it's something where I don't care what it was. Like she can go to jail, but to just kill somebody, especially because you don't want to, they don't want to be with you anymore. That's weak. That is weak sauce. So as we were watching that, I went because I told you I was going to find out. I was going to find more about it. So I found his page on Instagram or on Facebook. It's called Rico Strong. So his real name is Jarvis, but it's Rico Strong. So let me see if you can play a little bit so you can hear him. So as I let's see if he says what's going on. As I watch this, he don't look like he's talking. He's just rolling a blunt. I'm not gonna put that on my YouTube channel because I don't know what I can put on. But he's just rolling a blunt. Let's see what he's talking about.
Hell yeah, you a BBW. Me and the doctor think it's alike. Hey, we think it's alike, innit? You know a BBW when you see one. All right. I ain't gonna talk about that no more. I just had to get that out.
Ooh, let's see if we can go back. Dude.
Motherfucker think
Sir.
I'm in his hell. Like me, I'm not making you mad because motherfuckers real life post my name and all kind of shit. Like, y'all don't know what the fuck going on. Like, let them people do their fucking job. Like, yeah, them people say that shit, but that shit ain't got nothing to do with me, though. But of course they gonna say my name.
And this is just a day after he went to the prison, or he went to.
I ain't doing shit. I ain't delete Facebook. I'm still living the same fucking way.
So he goes on live, talks about stuff. Okay. So, and if you look at his page, he had like a lot more comments, but you could tell he went through and deleted a lot of them. It was probably some of the people who were over here telling him, like, you did it. Like one chick says, and this was like a year ago, he's been in prison since then, but she says, got the nerve to sit up here and go live and know you killed that girl. 50 years ain't shit.
Once they put my name out there and say that shit, everybody ran with that shit, bro. Motherfucker came in and said, bro, this shit they got you in the news, you locked up.
So he's a charismatic type of dude.
Facebook will get me locked up. I promise you. Some people will lock my ass up just because everybody's saying that shit, bro. That shit crazy. I can't even be sad. How the fuck can I be sad? When as soon as they find a girl, they fucking accuse me. The fuck I'm be sad? How can I be sad?
He said, hold on. He said, how can I be sad? Because they found the girl and put it on Facebook, so I can't even be sad. What? What logical? You can do both. It's not one or the other. He's reading.
Yeah, I got you, sis. You know how that shit is, man. Situation like this, especially involving when somebody getting killed, they'll lock your ass up and send your ass in the county jail for 2 years and release you talking about charges dismissed just to please the family. The family, this shit crazy. You say you don't talk about it, but shit. I ain't getting no details. I'm just saying, bro. Everybody, everywhere I fucking go, that shit, I can't go nowhere, bro. All in the stove. For real, bro. I go in the stove, motherfucker looking like, what wrong with y'all? Bitch, I ain't on no run.
So he try and gaslight people like, look, I'm right here. I'm not going nowhere. If I was going someplace, I wouldn't be doing this. Like, gaslighting. So that was the one on December the 5th. And then, let's see, one. When justice is served and I'm not part of it, the same people who post on slick remarks, please stay out my face. So this comment had 53, this comment or post had 53 comments, and only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are left. So he was going through blocking people and probably deleting comments. Someone said, I'm sorry that young lady lost her life. Please stop contacting my cousin. Let the police do what they get paid for. Thank you. JT, stop explaining yourself. Which is wild, right? All of a sudden is, let the police do their job. Let the police do their job. But these are people in the community who be like, fuck the police. So come on now. And he used to be called Tank Top Tony, but it looks like that's not what he's called anymore. All right. Chris was sending threats. I don't know who Chris is, but Chris sent him a text and was like, I'm coming. I promise you that. What the fuck you talk about? I'm confused. I will be too. What are you talking about? It's 4 a.m. You talking in codes. And it was, but I have a meeting with Slee tomorrow and I contacted them first. So as you saw on the show, he said he did contact them first. Smoking a cigarette. Smoking cigarettes. The same type of cigarettes, probably. Mm-mm-mm. Let's see. Someone told him he was an ugly bitch. And what's crazy about him is like he's just out here on live, Facebook Live, just living it up, talking about what's going on. And like if you see him, I'm gonna try to show him.
That's right, they fast, bro.
If
Might
you
stump that
see
bitch too.
him,
That's an SRT8.
he's
Stump that
just
bitch.
he's just calm, collective. You would have never thought
You know that.
calm, collective, never thought anything was going
You
on.
bet that cross up and hit that car head on. Damn, well, I went mind driving that bitch for a weekend.
Don't seem rattled or nothing.
I know you ain't called T-Ron calling somebody ugly. Are the wrong people. C-Lo. Got the car. That bitch got the second gear too. Promise you got this second gear. Old for that shit, brother. That is Georgie.
She's online, just walking around. I'm trying to watch it so you guys don't have to waste your time.
What's up, cuz? Dang, innit? What's up, Mitch? Following them boys, Georgie, them chilling. I thought nigga I was still for the ride.
He seemed dusty.
Really, nigga?
He gives off dusty vibes.
You must be in there. You been in that mom?
You know, cut up. Let's see there. So he went live several times, and then he even posted where he went down. Took a picture of him going down to the police office, to the police station. Look at that. Took a picture of it. Been here 3.5 hours. Yes, Sled said I can post that I've been here, and they talked to me already. So y'all who's saying JT better call another name. And people are just over here supporting him, gossiping asses down. This chick said, call somebody. Butter Cheney said, call somebody else. Jeez, crazy. So then he's just posting his life, posting life. Oh, I didn't mean to like that. Ew. So he's over here. Wow. So he hasn't posted since October 2019. So this was like during COVID, right? So he didn't post anything at all. Best to stay alone because all your motherfuckers be talking about each other. All right. And then people start talking about, I haven't heard from you lately. You good? This was October 2019, the 12th. Everybody wishing him a happy birthday on October the 31st. Like he had an absurd amount of people wishing him a happy birthday, especially for being involved in a murder case. An absurd amount. Let's see. Happy birthday again, November. October, they just send him happy birthday. Someone said free him. Free this dude. This is wild. Let me go. Happy birthday, nephew. This chick Erica says, missing my friend. Really needed you to listen to me today. Ugh, free him. And then Naomi, girl, for real, I miss my dog, for real. For real, like way the fuck my dog. Where she's supposed to say where the fuck, but it came out as way. Way the fuck my dog at. That's why he MIA. I know something ain't been right. I used to talk to him every day. Damn, free my homie. Happy belated birthday. I hope it was a good one. Probably not, because he's in jail. Someone said, yeah. So, and then he was on her Facebook. So on November the 19th, Mind you, November the 19th was, it looks like it was the last time she posted. So she was posting all day on November the 19th. You know what? I won't say all day. I don't know the timestamps. She posted on November the 20th. She was cool November 20th, November 20th. So November the 20th was the last time she posted. And she also posted on there. Let's see what she posted.
Your question when you were in London and you were having the conversation.
Let's see. Because he responded. That's the only reason why I found him, because his name is Jarvis, but he's not underneath his name on Facebook. And why would he? That doesn't make any sense. It's not a good name. Plus, people were probably looking for him too. It was something different. And, you know, I think it was Tony Top, but it was something a little different. But all right. So on her page, she put, this was November the 19th. So this is like a couple days before she died. When you single, and he's still worried about you and what you doing. Sorry, you had your chance. So she's kind of like letting her like, hey, we're not together. So he go and comment, but we've been together all week. Flexing for Facebook, go sit down. So then she responds, Tank Top Tony exit the building, but on Facebook. He said, are you single? She said, but deleted Facebook. I got something for that. There y'all go. Someone said, there y'all go. There you go. There y'all go. She said, there y'all go. As it's really hard language there. So this chick said, I never liked him ever since he lied on my name, pussy ass frog, pussy ass ugly frog bitch. I hope you die. I'm gon' fuck you in your own ass with your dick. Cut it off and your dick in your mouth. Word dog. And I think this was like after things had happened, after like she died, that somebody posted that. For real, he did my bitch wrong. That's why he a pussy. He won't fight a nigga. He love hitting on girls. Right, what a fucking waste. Shaking my head. She supposed to be here with us right now. So I'm curious. And this is like, my research skills are uncanny, because I will go through and I will research and see what goes on. See what's happening. Okay, so looks like she ain't real. She might have her page. Now, some people have their page private, which I definitely love that. You know, you don't need somebody who's like nosy like me, being all up in your business. But here I am. If your page is not private, I'm going to go through and be a stalker. So it looks like they went back and forth. They had a tumultuous relationship. They went back and forth, and yeah, that's crazy. Here's another one. Anelia Moni Garvin. This is an old page she had. She don't have this page anymore. Okay. She was a cashier at Pilot Flying J. Yeah, this sucks, man. So I'm gonna jump off of here, but thank you guys for watching with me. And the aftermath of what happens. I hope we learn, like, stay away from these type of individuals, and we gotta ladies, we gotta carry ourselves better. As soon as you see someone has a anger and it's like it doesn't match the situation, and then it's even directed towards you, it's time for you to get up and bounce. Like, don't stay in situations that could cost you your life, because you can't come back from that, and a lot of people will miss you. So thanks again for watching me, True Crime with your bestie, with your True Crime bestie. I'll see you guys next week. Bye. Hopefully it'll work next week. I mean, geez.